In this video, we are going to be talking about the 9 money goals to achieve before the age of 30. We are going to be referencing a bunch of personal finance books. So let's get started. First is to build an emergency fund. Start by saving at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. The book Your Money, Your Life talks about the importance of having an emergency fund. An emergency fund helps with unexpected circumstances like losing your job, an unexpected health bill, your car maintenance, or anything else that might come unexpected. Moreover, I've recently read the book The Psychology of Money. And in that book, it talks about how psychology affects your money decisions. So, for example, if a market crash happens and the market loses 20 to 25% of its value, depending on how the crash affects your psychology, you might panic sell. Panic selling may lead you to miss out on life-changing returns if you had some money left on the side in case something goes wrong. Next is to pay off any high-interest debt like credit cards and personal loans, or any liabilities like a car payment. According to a recent study by NerdWallet, the average American household has a credit card debt of $6,000. Various personal finance books like The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, and Your Money, Your Life talk about the importance of tackling high credit card debt and to pay it down aggressively to achieve financial stability and a step towards financial freedom. In Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, he talks about the debt snowball method, where you would pay off your debt from the smallest amount to the largest amount. You focus on paying the smallest debt first while making minimum payments on the rest. Once you pay off the smallest amount first, then you move on to the next smallest amount on your list. Moreover, in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki talks about the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket, and a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Assets are rental properties, stocks, bonds, and businesses. And liabilities are mortgages, credit cards, car loans, or anything that requires ongoing payment. Cars are one of the biggest depreciating assets out there. In your first year of ownership, cars lose about 23% of its value. And over the next 5 years, cars lose almost up to 60% of its value. Moreover, there is an opportunity cost associated. The average term payment for a car loan is 69 months, and the average interest rate is 5%. That money you could have used elsewhere for a higher percent return on your money. Like for example, the S&P 500, which historically has returned 8 to 10%. Next is to start contributing to retirement accounts. In US, we have the 401k and the IRA. According to the Federal Reserve, only 32% of adults under the age of 30 have money in the retirement accounts. The difference between a 401k and an IRA. A 401k is typically offered by employers, where they typically can match your contribution. And an IRA is a typical retirement account, and this is regardless of whether it is employee-sponsored or not. In the book Automatic Millionaire, the author David Batch talks about how regularly contributing to your retirement plan is a very important step to achieve financial freedom. He talks about paying yourself first and regularly contributing to your retirement plan before any other expenses. He also talks the importance of compound interest and how that interest can make you wealthy by the time you are ready for retirement. For example, if I start with an initial investment of $0, I contribute $500 monthly, and the length of this period that you're investing is 40 years. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned 8 to 10%, so I've taken the lower end, which is 8%. In 40 years, you will have $1.5 million, which is a very comfortable amount for retirement. Next is to establish a budget and keep track of your expenses. According to a recent survey, 61% of Americans do not have a budget. In Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, he emphasized the importance of having a budget and for allocating each dollar to a specific category. So for example, for a take-home income of $2,500, you can see here that 25% of it, or $625, is going towards housing. And on the smaller end of the spectrum, you see that 2% of your total monthly income, that is $50, is going towards clothing. So each and every dollar has a specific expense category that is allocated towards. Dave Ramsey says that having a budget, reducing your expenses, and sticking to it is one of the crucial steps to achieve financial success. Next is to save for a down payment for a house. In The Automatic Millionaire Homeowner, the author David Batch talks about how through property appreciation and forced mortgage payments, when you make a mortgage payment, a specific amount goes towards building equity in your home. You are building financial wealth. Next is to start a side hustle or have additional forms of income. According to a recent survey, only 38% of Americans have a side hustle. In the book, The Millionaire Next Door, the authors found that 80% of millionaires have at least 3 sources of income. Next is to invest in yourself by continuously learning or attain a new skill. In the book, The Millionaire Fast Lane by DJ DeMarco, he talks about how continuously learning and acquiring new skills can vastly increase your earning potential. He talks about how a traditional education and job is not enough to attain financial success. He advocates for continuous self and skill development, keeping up with industry trends, and seeking opportunities to enhance your skill set as a way to attain financial wealth. Next is to build a good credit score by paying your bills on time and keeping your credit utilization low. When you have a bad credit score, you actually have higher interest payments. So for example, if your credit score was between 500 and 589, your average interest rate is around 16%. But if you have a credit score over 720, your average interest is around 6%. There is an opportunity cost associated. You could have used that money elsewhere to make more money, for example, in the stock market. Lastly is invest in the stock market or other long-term investments. According to a recent poll, only 55% of Americans have invested into the stock market. Warren Buffett has famously said that if you do not make money while you are asleep, you will work until the day you die. And this is something you and I definitely do not want to do. So what should you do if you do not have time to study the market? If you don't have the skill set or the knowledge, what should you be doing? Warren Buffett has answered that for us as well. In 2020, during his Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting, he said, "In my view, for most people, the best thing to do is to own S&P 500 index fund. There are huge amounts of money people pay for advice they really don't need. If you bet on America and sustain that position for decades, you'd do far better than buying treasury securities." Over the past century, the S&P 500 has returned 10%, and inflation adjusted has returned 6.9%. Investors can keep it simple by investing into a broad-based index fund and dollar cost every month. So in your budget, if you have allocated 20% of your monthly income towards savings, investment, or other debt repayments, you can put that 20% every month into the S&P 500 index like SPY or VOO. You are putting a fixed amount every month regardless of what the price is, and that will do amazing wonders in the long run. So this was the video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you got something out of it. I referenced a bunch of finance books. Please let me know if you would like a video on a specific finance book. I will be more than happy to do that, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.